a lot of people's eyes is a negative form of radicism. Fine, you could say that. Anyone can say that. I view it as a cry for hope. I view it as a structural need to assess the power of a system that we didn't have. And it was a cry for freedom for me. And it was a victory stand. Everybody knew it was a victory stand because it was on a podium. But it was my victory, and I stood for that victory not only in the 200-meter race, but also in the eyes of society on a world issue.
But on that world stage, why did you and John Carlos come up with this idea? Why did you cook it up and decide, look, we want to do this when we get on the podium?
Well, it wasn't cooked. It wasn't baked. it was done out of love, out of respect, because there are those who don't know what happened previously to that stand. There was a lot of, and I mean a plethora of meetings that we had, not only John Carlos, Tommie Smith, Dr. Harry Evans, but athletes all over the United States talking about human rights issues. And we thought it was high time for the young black athlete who was sought out to talk, who were seen on a world level, to speak out toward proactivity that wasn't happening in the system. And this was one of our ways. We couldn't speak because we had no platform. We only had a platform to be seen.
I wonder how important it is. I mean, certainly it seems symbolic looking back on it now, that as you made your stand, you were joined in that by Peter Norman, who got the silver medal. You know, not American, not black, but he still decided he wanted to take part, and he wore a symbolic badge at the time. How important was that to you, that he was a man who was standing up for what you were saying?
You see, he was there by his own right because he was a silver medalist. He wore the button because he believed in human rights. Now, there are those who say he backed Tommie Smith and John Carlos. Peter backed his belief. Just so happens Tommie Smith and John Carlos believed in the same thing, which was human rights. We couldn't go civil on this case because it wasn't a civil offense. It was a human rights issue. So I give Peter his own due standing of a need by wearing the button and not by being on the victory stand, because on the victory stand was his own doing from winning. The button proved that he, like a lot of other folks who didn't have that platform, was very idealistically seeking a platform for justice. And that's what Peter did. So give him his right.
And in terms of justice, what seems amazing now, we look back at this and it is inspirational. I mean, we salute you, if you like, for what you did in that. And yet it destroyed your athletic careers, all three of you.
Well, it did. But sometimes it takes destruction to start a rebuild. Or what do you do when you want a properties to start over again? You usually demolish the building that it's on, which will cause a lot of personal offense for those who want that building to stay. Reform is sad sometimes, but it's mightily necessary. And when we're dealing with the human issue of moving forward, people will be hurt. This is a man creation of moving forward, being proactive. Yes, it does hurt to change, but change is very necessary.
The Olympics is always known for being apolitical. I mean, that's what caused the controversy. It's why, you know, you were effectively thrown out, and why even Peter was not even allowed to, in an official capacity, to attend the Sydney Olympics in 2000.
Yeah, true.
Is it right? I mean, looking back, do you think it is right that the Olympics does try to maintain this apolitical stance, or do you think really that what you did was an important thing and actually other people could do it in the future?
Isn't it amazing how man view a success, but you're going to have in the total area of moving forward pros and cons of what one should do. And I preach this to kids all the time. No matter what you do positive, there's going to be some negative thoughts about it. But you must take the good with the bad and move forward with the oration of the mixing of the two. And this is what happened in 1968. I knew that what I was doing was not in vogue, but I had to proceed with my heart and not with the financial not with the finances that I might lose because of it. Man is not here forever, but we do have a responsibility.
And so in that sense, I mean, do you and indeed did John or Peter have any regrets about what happened?
No, I don't have regrets in terms of standing. Isn't it sad, though, that I had to sacrifice that just to make it a positive act of need to move forward? And that was used, Tommie Smith victory stand was used for the proactive moving forward and not to drag through the unnecessary act of being a militant, because I was not.
Do you know what? It's so easy to forget, though, what things were like back in 1968. It's one respect a long time ago, and in another respect not that long ago. What do you think of now when you look back at this and all that time ago and think how society, and particularly how America has changed over the decades?
Well, God, from whom all blessings flow, thank you, because the sacrifices that not only Tommie Smith and John Carlos made, but the sacrifices all over this globe that people have made to move forward. From the sailing of those ships, and y'all know what I mean, the sailing of those ships around Africa and bringing folks to where I live now, was deemed necessary to prove a point. And that point was expansion. And this was this is a very small idealistic move of expansion. Expansion is the proactivity part of it, though. And we did sacrifice this because I did not want to do it, youngster. I call you young because you were only born in 70-something, you know, bless your little heart. But that had to be done. And I wasn't afraid to sacrifice this because this was my calling. This was a divine calling. Because did I want to do it? No, I did not want to do it. I wanted to go to school, get married, have kids, and die. That was it for me.
But you made your stand.
I had to.
Tommie, you know, it's an honor to meet you. Thank you very much indeed for joining us.
My pleasure, son. My pleasure.
Let's get a quick check on the weather. Here's Naz.